We open this episode by seeing the birth of our beloved Nina Mazursky. The nurse announces it's a girl, and her father walks over with a shocked look on his face. We cut to the next scene and see another nurse come in and explain to Nina's parents that she has some irregularities, including her lungs being outside of her chest. The nurse suggests Dr. Mazursky create something to help her breathe. Their mother doesn't seem too happy about this. We cut to the current day. Frankenstein is in a cab, babbling on and obsessing over the bride, creeping out his cab driver. He asks his driver if they're near the castle, and he nervously responds, "We're almost there." I really hope he doesn't delete this driver. Next we see Princess Rostovic's guards appear to be fortifying the castle. The bride jumps into a window and awes one of them. As this is happening, Frankenstein arrives and sees her in action. I'm so happy this cab driver survived. Our team of monsters discuss their strategy to kill the princess, but notice something interesting on the princess's surveillance screens. It looks like we aren't the only monsters she's had business with. Suddenly, Frankenstein pops up in the window and the bride looks irritated and shoots Frankenstein several times. He falls down from the window. The Creature Commandos exit the security tower. The bride looks over Frankenstein's body. He begins to try and sweet talk her. She shoots him several times again, spits on him, and tells him to save it for hell, you stalker piece of shit. The bride was not for his shit today, and I love it. I really hope he gets it through his head that she doesn't love him or wants him. We get another flashback. Nina's mother and father argue over whether they should have kept Nina alive. The mother tells him they should have taken her off the machine. He vehemently disagrees and reminds her that she's their daughter. She responds, "She's your daughter. She barely looks at me." Dr. Mazursky explains, "It's because you barely look at her." She suggests they separate for a while and leave. Nina's mother was trash. It seems like she was expecting to have the perfect daughter, and because Nina didn't come out perfect, she was willing to dispose of her. The Creature Commandos begin to execute their plan by having Dr. Phosphorus burn through a castle wall. While this is happening, we get another flashback and Nina's dad tries to help her through an experimental surgery. He fuses her DNA with the DNA of aquatic animals. The surgery ends up turning her into the humanoid fish creature we see today, but through this, he learns that she's able to breathe underwater. I must give it to Nina's dad. He's doing everything to ensure his daughter is able to live. We cut back to the current day. Princess Rostovic chooses to go for a swim. Her head god, Sergei, suggests she skips her swim for today. She tells her god that she will not cower, and the guards are there to protect her. She then prepares to dive into her personal pond. I'm not gonna lie, having a pond on your property sounds fabulous. We get another flashback. We see Nina attend school because her father thinks she needs socialization. However, she becomes a target of bullies due to her appearance. People can be so cruel. It sucks that one can be bullied for their appearance in a world with superheroes and other non-human creatures. Amanda is sitting with Rick Flag. He briefly wakes up from his coma and tells her she was wrong and that Dr. McPherson was not herself. We get another flashback and see that Nina had enough of the bullying and decides to run away from home. She leaves a note thanking her father for all he's done, but expresses she doesn't belong in the human world. Her father runs outside of their home and yells for her in the rain. We cut back to the current day. Our team of monsters convince Nina to swim in the pond and assassinate the princess. Nina explains she's never deleted anyone before. The bride tells her to just stab her. Nina responds, "You want me to stab her?" I laughed so hard. Nina sounded so appalled by the bride's request. The bride tells her yes and begins to explain how to properly stab someone. She continues to push Nina by telling her the princess is just another human. Nina responds, "But you said I was human." The bride explains, "I lied because I'm a bitch. You're a monster just like us. You're the best of us." This interaction between Nina and the bride is hilarious. Dr. Phosphorus eggs her on by simply telling her, "You got this." Nina begins to make her way towards the pond. As this is happening, Dr. Phosphorus asks the bride, "Did it sound like I gave a shit?" Dr. Phosphorus and the bride ain't shit. We get our final flashback. Nina is living her best aquatic life and begins to eat a fish. She notices she's been spotted by a photographer and quickly dives back into the water. Her appearance makes the news and she's captured by law enforcement. Her father rushes to her location and tells the cops she can't breathe outside of the water. He breaks away from them, runs to his daughter and tells her she was never a burden, but has been a gift. Before she can respond, the police shoots him in the back. Nina is thrown in the back of a vehicle as she cries. I feel so bad for Nina Mazursky. Her backstory is truly heartbreaking. Amanda and John Economos meet up at Professor McPherson's home. John frantically explains if Cersei is wrong, they'll be starting a war with Bocalistan for no reason. Amanda yells, "I know!" She walks into the deceased professor's home and notices Clayface's lifeless clay body on the floor. She walks upstairs and Amanda discovers Professor McPherson's corpse and tells John to call off the hit immediately. Nina moves in on the princess. Weasel interferes and alerts the princess to Nina sneaking up on her in the water. The princess defends herself and kills Nina Mazursky. As her body floats to the surface, the bride discovers it and is in shock. The guard hands her a phone and Amanda Waller says, "We've made a mistake." The princess emerges from the water, bloody, and walks away. The bride seems heartbroken and angry. Everyone appears to have calmed down after the misunderstanding. Weasel's receiving praise from the guards for saving the princess. The bride locates the princess and begins to express her distrust in her. She tells her she saw Clayface on the tapes and begins to piece together the princess's plan for world domination. She tells the bride she's speaking nonsense. The bride tells her she believes who Cersei said she was all along. A power-mad, sadistic, narcissistic Disney princess who wants to destroy the world. She tells her, "I'm not going to kill you because it may start World War III. I'm not doing it to save the world. After all, what has this ball of dirt done for me? No, Lana, I'm killing you because you took the life of the only friend I have and the only one of us that had an ounce of kindness in her veins." They both go for their pistols, but the princess is too slow and the bride shoots her in the middle of the forehead. The bride was not having any of the princess's shit at all. She did the right thing and took her out. It's cool to see she saw through the princess's fake facade. She and the remaining Creature Commandos calmly leave and walk off into the sunset. Tears are falling from the bride's eyes as she walks away after getting her revenge. Next, we see the bride back at Belle Reve. John congratulates the bride for completing the mission and tells her they've converted one of the abandoned wings for her and her team. As she walks in, she spots Dr. Phosphorus, King Shark, and an upgraded GI robot. John asks if she's down. She looks at him and simply responds, "What else have I got to do?" The episode fades to black. This finale was pretty good. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I thought it was another solid episode. I enjoyed learning about Nina's complex backstory. She truly felt unwanted in a world that constantly reminded her that she wasn't normal. It's evident that she could feel the rejection from her own mother. The character seems deeply empathetic, and people or beings like that are often misunderstood or abused by the world. It's sad that her character died in this finale. I must say, the bride is my favorite character. She totally stepped up and led the team while Rick Flag is recovering from his injuries. Her attention to detail gave her the information she needed to rightfully execute the princess and canonically save the world. Also, I enjoyed seeing King Shark will be a part of the team next season and the reveal of an upgraded GI robot. We lost Nina, but we at least have a different version of GI robot back on the team. This was a great first season of the show. I really enjoyed learning about all these characters I'm unfamiliar with. James Gunn has a way of taking these D-list characters and making them household names. I hope he continues to shine a spotlight on lesser known characters as the DCU grows. I wasn't totally wowed by this finale, but I was still satisfied with it. I rate this episode a solid B. If you like this review, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.